paid just 5 cents for his breakfast. But before he could even finish paying, the clerk had already handed him his meal. The speed caught Ray Kroc completely off guard. He stared at the burger in his hands, not sure if he should take a bite. Was it really fresh? He looked around and saw everyone else eating happily, so he opened the bag, checked the food, and finally took a cautious bite. Just then, a janitor walked by and started chatting with him. "What do you think of the burger?" the man asked.
This might be the best hamburger I've ever had in my life.
Well, we aim to please. McDonald's.
Only then did Kroc realize that this ordinary-looking janitor was actually the owner of the restaurant. Excited, he quickly handed over his business card and asked if he could learn more about the place. As a traveling salesman, Kroc spent most of his time on the road. He usually ate whatever he could find along the way. But in 1950s America, even the fastest drive-ins took at least 30 minutes to serve a meal. Now at 52, his career was going nowhere. To secure the rights to a milkshake mixer, he had even mortgaged his house. But the heavy machine barely sold. After 3 months of hard work, he hadn't sold a single unit. Then one day, he received a surprising order: 6 machines at once. It came from a small, unknown restaurant in California. Curious, Kroc decided to visit in person. When he arrived, he was stunned by what he saw. Outside a tiny, unremarkable building, a long line of customers stretched down the street. Despite the crowd, everything moved incredibly fast. When the owners learned that Kroc was the mixer salesman, they invited him into the kitchen. The workers were busy but perfectly organized. Each one focused on a single task. It ran like a well-oiled assembly line. One worker lined up the buns, another added ketchup and mustard, then 2 slices of pickles, some chopped onions, and finally a grilled beef patty. In just 30 seconds, a perfectly made hamburger was ready to serve. What amazed Kroc even more was that they made their own ketchup. The McDonald brothers controlled every detail of quality. Even the fries had strict rules for temperature and frying time. New employees could learn the process in no time. Kroc was deeply impressed. Over dinner, he couldn't wait to ask how they achieved such efficiency. The brothers eagerly shared their story. Unlike other restaurants, McDonald's focused on one thing: speed. They built their kitchen like a production line. Instead of delivering food to customers' cars, they had people line up to pick up their own orders. That alone saved a huge amount of time and labor. They replaced plates and utensils with paper packaging, which made eating easier and eliminated the need to wash dishes. They also discovered that burgers, fries, and Coke made up more than 87% of their sales, so they cut the menu down to those 3 items. By focusing on what mattered most, they could guarantee speed and consistency. To design the most efficient kitchen, the brothers drew the layout on a tennis court. They placed every piece of equipment on the ground and had employees practice moving around. Whenever a movement caused interference, they erased the lines and redrew them. After countless trials, they perfected the flow. In that small space, everyone could move quickly without getting in each other's way. They remodeled the kitchen exactly according to their final design. The result was a restaurant that was both fast and wildly popular. That night, Kroc couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the brothers' story and their revolutionary system. Then, an idea hit him. The next morning, he stopped the brothers' car and said excitedly,
Franchise.
Beg pardon?
Franchise. Franchise the damn thing.
Kroc realized that the McDonald's model could be expanded nationwide if they wanted to grow. Franchising was the fastest path forward, but to his surprise, the McDonald brothers weren't excited. They turned him down. They had already tried expanding before, opening 5 locations along the West Coast, but distance became their biggest problem. Ingredients spoiled during transport, and quality control fell apart. Dirty kitchens and bad burgers had damaged their reputation. Kroc suggested hiring inspectors to maintain standards, but the brothers said they'd already tried that it didn't work. They believed that one great restaurant was better than dozens of mediocre ones. Just when Kroc was running out of ideas, he noticed a photo on the wall: 2 large golden arches. The brothers had planned to make those arches their brand's signature symbol, a landmark that drivers could see from far away. Their family name was built into the design. Kroc understood immediately. He drove straight to Phoenix, where an old McDonald's location had closed. Even though the place was abandoned, the huge golden arches still gleamed in the sunlight. At that moment, Kroc saw the future clearly. He rushed back and gave a passionate speech to the brothers. There should be a McDonald's in every city, every town, like courthouses and churches. Our golden arches should stand wherever people live. They'll become the 3rd landmark in American life. The grand vision moved the brothers, but they remained cautious. They drew up a detailed contract, requiring that every change to the stores be approved by them. Kroc didn't argue. He signed immediately. All he wanted was the franchise rights to expand. Kroc needed money, lots of it. He visited over a dozen banks, but couldn't get a single loan. Desperate, he mortgaged his house again. To cut costs and raise funds, he went straight to Coca-Cola headquarters. He proposed printing Coke's logo on McDonald's cups in exchange for financial support. But when he told the McDonald brothers, they rejected the idea outright. They wanted to build their own brand, not advertise for someone else. So Kroc turned to networking. He began attending social events, meeting wealthy investors, and convincing them to believe in his dream. After much effort, a few finally agreed to invest. But during construction, new conflicts arose. Kroc wanted to add a basement and extra grills to improve efficiency. The brothers refused, insisting on architectural approval first. They followed strict standards for layout and design, and wouldn't compromise on quality. quantity. Kroc grew impatient. He wanted to move faster. One side chased profit, the other chased perfection. Their partnership became increasingly tense. Still, after months of struggle, Kroc's first McDonald's restaurant finally opened, just as he had hoped. Long lines formed outside. He watched over every detail, determined to keep the quality high. But as more and more restaurants opened, problems began to appear. When Kroc visited one franchise location, he was furious. The menu was messy, the place was filthy, and the burgers were awful. He stormed in and yelled at the investors, "Why aren't you following company standards?" To them, fast food was just that fast. They didn't care about quality. Kroc was furious, but there was little he could do. One day, back at the office, he met a stubborn salesman who refused to leave the lobby until someone bought his product. Watching him, Kroc saw a bit of his younger self. He realized that only people who fought desperately for success could truly seize an opportunity. So he hired the man as a franchise owner. It turned out to be the right choice. That man paid close attention to every detail in the kitchen, while his wife worked hard to maintain the restaurant's image. Using the same approach, Kroc recruited more capable franchisees. Together, they built stores that thrived, fueling McDonald's explosive growth. In just a few months, Kroc became a household name in the industry. Everywhere he went, he was met with applause and admiration. But as McDonald's expanded, money grew tight. He had to pay off loans while sharing profits with the McDonald brothers. The higher the profits climbed, the greedier he became. He called the brothers and demanded a larger share. They refused, leading to a heated argument. To make matters worse, the bank started calling about overdue payments. Kroc tried to explain that his business was expanding fast, but they still denied his request for an extension. With no assets left to mortgage, he was out of options. At that moment, a young financial consultant overheard his situation. When Kroc left the bank, the man caught up to him, handed him a business card, and said he could help. Kroc didn't know it yet, but that encounter would change everything. For him, and for McDonald's. That man would soon reveal a secret that would not only push the McDonald brothers out of their own company, but also transform Ray Kroc's life forever. Want to know what happened next? Follow me, and I'll share the rest of the story soon.